Hey guys, welcome back to the CCLP5 submission thing. This is level 185, Noctilucent Caves. And this is the one I built out of coal mine, I think. Before I start though, let me just check something real quick. Okay, nothing important. Alright, so Noctilucent Caves. So yeah, this is what I made out of coal mine, and it was a it was an okay wall pattern. It wasn't as tough as it might seem like it was. Once I hit on the idea of making it an ice level, everything else just kind of flowed naturally. Like, that idea is pretty solid. Okay, so we can collect these. Yeah, so in between recordings, it's been about 2 days, and it really shouldn't have been. I should have recorded last night, but by the time I realized I need to record, it was already almost 4 in the morning, and
Bummer.
oh, I forgot to move out of the way. Once I realized I hadn't recorded that night, it was already almost 4 in the morning, so I was like, you know what, it's not even worth it. I'll just pump out a couple extra videos tonight, or recordings tonight. And it's not even midnight, and this is fairly early for me to start recording. But a lot of people I talked to, they went to bed pretty early tonight, like family, friends. Guess it's just one of those times of the year where everyone's just tired. Okay. So now we gotta take another trip through this. I like this. I really like this opening part. It just... The best advice I can give when it comes to walls of levels, if you have like open rooms like this, or really weird really weird constraints to work under, ice is usually the way to go. It's my recommendation. Okay, this is a little tricky, but I think what you have to do is you have to push this block in such a way where you kind of follow it, and then you just do that. It's not really seen, but... And I remember JB, he wasn't too keen on how this room is laid out. And I take responsibility for it for sure, but it's just... If I like this room so much that if I changed it it would basically nerf it, and I don't want to nerf this. Like, I really like the way this works. So it's just one of those things where you kind of just have to accept the risk. Okay, so here is that. This part of the level was a little random to work with, but once I knew I can just kind of throw it away with a maze, it worked out. Okay, you got this walker. You do have to be a little careful with this because you can screw it. There. There we go. So the hint that said which walls these were used to be right here, but obviously for submissions I didn't keep it. Probably could have put like a key there and just had this be a door, but I didn't want to do that. Felt unnecessary. Okay, so this room is, yeah, a thing. So you just kind of have to map it out, and this is, I think this is the opening room of, or one of the opening rooms of coal mine. So you just have to kind of just carefully navigate this. Okay, so it goes like this, and it's a pretty simple path. It's not that difficult. Okay, this room is pretty cool. This was a fairly random idea, and I like it for it being different. Okay, so let's see here. I think you gotta do this in a fairly specific order, so we'll do it like that. And then do it like this. And you have to get the block across the 4 floors. There you go. Now this is the opening of coal mine. Okay, that's just, is that a dead end? No, it's not. Okay. One of these is a dead end. I think the middle one is. Oh no, it's not. So it's this one. Yeah. Okay, and then you have the last room. Now this one is easy compared to the other one. This honestly could have been a little bit tougher, but I don't know. For being at the end, I feel like it's a nice little relaxing thing. Well, not relaxing, but you still have to pay attention. But it's not overwhelming. Let's see. Oh, gotta do this. Yeah, it just goes along the same path. And that is Noctilucent Caves. A little boosting at the end because that's fun. Okay, hypothermia. So, like I said, when you have big open space, ice is usually the way to go when it comes to walls of levels. In this case, this is mouth-watering, which I unintentionally went with a pun with the water in the teeth aesthetics. And this is just a maze, but it's with this aesthetic, but it's a time crunch, and it's actually a little bit more tight of a time crunch than it was in Walls of CCLP3 itself. Yeah, so the time limit in the Walls of CCLP3 version was, I think 230 or 235. I didn't mean to do that. And I lowered it all the way down to 120, which is pretty freaking tight, but and that's not with, you know, boosting being required or nothing. It's I would never make things like boosting or optimal solutions required in levels. I feel like that just takes the fun out of it. And I mean, if I did that, it's either like as a joke, like say I make like a Joshie-CCLP rejects level with the intention of it being like you have to be optimal with it. Like, I can see myself doing that, but even then, it's like, levels like that kind of require a lot more thought to them. Okay, as you can see, like I haven't really boosted a whole lot, and even took my time in some sections, and I barely used, or I just barely used half the time. So yeah, that's hypothermia. All right, Frey Manor Isle. So this one I actually did not submit initially. This is one of the 25 I added from way back when. And I really didn't think too much about this level. It just kind of existed, and turns out a lot of people really like this one. I never would have thought, but here we are. Let's read the hint. The brown button above connects to the trap teeth. Okay. So let's... do this. So this one uses a bump and run. I retain the real blue walls from it. Okay, so you just kind of have to... kind of gotta just go through with the motions here. Yeah, this one's definitely not one I expected to get a lot of, I wouldn't say praise, but not so much enthusiasm over. Like, I'm happy with this, but I guess I just didn't really think too much of it. After I made it, I just felt like, oh, you know, it uses a really, an extremely awkward layout that, you know, I just kind of did the best I could with it. And I didn't want to resort to making, like, oh, what's it called? I didn't want to resort to making some, like, random garbage level. Like cyanide, for example, which I didn't submit. What am I even doing here? I feel like I'm missing something. Ah, here we go. So the chips around the level, you can't collect them. They are just purely aesthetic. And yeah. Okay, what do I want this? I think I want to go in here. Oh yeah, this section. Yeah, I think this is fine. So the goal here is just to set up some nails. Okay, this should be fine. And I think we go through this. I honestly don't remember much of this level. Even though it was like one of the later ones in Walls of CCLP3 and the LP wasn't terribly long ago. That bug just chilling on the random forest floor there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's unlock those. So I think there we go. I think now we go through here. Because I don't want to press that button right now. Just go back through this, open that. Do, do, do. Push that there. Yeah, bump and run was a weird layout. I just, for some reason, that stopped. Okay, so we got another yellow and another block. Which I know what the block is for. But I have to lose everything to access it. So I think at this point it's just a matter of getting these blocks up this path. And I think this path was actually where the exit was in the original bump and run. Okay, so before I lose my stuff, I need to go back through here. Free this guy. So that ball goes into that trap just to ensure the teeth doesn't go back into it, just in case you accidentally guide it up there somehow. Okay, so gotta do this shindig again. Collect that. Okay, so he follows you. Yeah, while I have him in the corner, I'm going to see about where he's supposed to go. Did I do something wrong? This teeth is supposed to blow up a bomb. Oh. Oh, did I blow it up at the very start of the level? So I've been playing this level in an unsolvable state this whole time. Hold on. Did I really do that? Oh my god, I did. I'm so stupid. Oh, that hurts. Okay, that's my fault, and I'm completely to blame for that. Yeah, so the recent Trading Places video was pretty fun, actually. So JB is on the final decade of the set, which is pretty exciting because the last decade of Trading Places has been semi-regarded as one of the best final decades in any custom level set. And it's got some pretty... Oh, I didn't... Wow. Okay. I am just... It's only midnight and I'm already getting out of it. And I think he was playing Absinthe from that final decade, which was Jeffrey's level that used Corrosion from Josh-CCLP5. And he got to the very, very end of the level. Like, he literally had to nail off the blob, and he would have solved it. But he mistimed it, and as he was going back to set up the nail again, he died in the process. Which, that hurt to see. And it's not even my level, and that hurt to see. And he started saying, like, that's like the worst feeling when you're playing a level is when you're right at the very end and you mess it up. Or you get killed by something like that. And I can agree, that's a pretty sour feeling. But I think, in my opinion, I think the most sour thing you can ever experience in a level is exactly what happened with me here. Putting the level in an unwinnable state without realizing it early on. And I keep forgetting you have to go down here. And then you get to that spot where you messed it up without directly knowing you messed it up. Like, that's the worst feeling, in my opinion. What did I do here? Did I push this up? I think no, I think I just did this. Cleared that space. Okay, let's get that in place there. This is one of those sections where it's like, it looks intimidating, but once you just guide them all naturally, it works. Okay, so I think I collect these now. Oh, hey, that worked the first time. Nice. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and just do this trip right now. Yeah, for me, I think playing a level and you put it in an unwinnable state without knowing you did, and then when you realize you did, like minutes later, oh, I did not get the red key. Yeah, it's up here. And then you finally get to that point of the level where you cooked it. That has to be the worst for me, personally. Because at that point, it's like, on one hand, it's like, okay, well, now you know you messed it up and you shouldn't have done what you did. I don't know why I just didn't take this path. Okay. I like that little turnaround thing. I think it's cool. Okay, so we'll have to go through the trap. Or not the trap, we'll have to go through the thief for that. But let's get this stuff up here first. It's like, yeah, on one hand, it's like, now you know what you did was wrong, but on the other hand, it's like you wasted all that time thinking you were solving it, or you were in the process of solving it, and to find out that you couldn't from from the very beginning. And that's one of the worst feelings for me. And thankfully that doesn't really come up a lot in level design anymore. I mean, when it does, you know, I can usually just brush it off and say, okay, well, you know, I can accept the defeat fairly easily. Okay. That is what you're supposed to do. And you just do this, click that, and you can exit. So that is Frey Manor Isle. That's a okay level. I mean, it does what it really does what I wanted it to do in the long run. It throws off the player in some places. It definitely threw me off in a lot of areas. It's got some cool implementations of ideas scattered all around. I think my favorite part is probably that teleport bit with the blocks. I know JB was like really happy that was only 3 blocks, and well, to be quite honest, it couldn't have been more than 3 even if I wanted it to be. So it's just because of the space I was given. Or I could have used more space, but with the concept I was going for and the aesthetic I was going for, I didn't have the space. So, I mean, other than that, I'm mixed on this one. I'm happy people like it, but I don't know. I would probably give this maybe a 3 in voting. 3.5. And we'll just stick with that. All right, International Tank Anthology. All right, this is another one that wasn't initially submitted. So this one uses the walls of Mud Pie. And it's basically a level that has a bunch of tank concepts that were previously seen in CCLPs, or in official sets. Like this right here was it's supposed to reference Reverse Alley. This isn't. I don't think it's supposed to reference anything in particular. Just uses the space. This corridor right here is supposed to reference Patrolled from CCLP2. And this is Crossback from CCLP4. It's a pretty easy section. And this is Fourth Dimension. And shameless plug, but I'm very happy how this section turned out. Like, wait until this. Yeah. I mean, look how clean this looks. This maze is solid. Yeah, I'm just so happy with that. More happy than I should be. Okay, and I even have room for the blue wall to reference it. All right, this is Refraction. Okay, and this path is supposed to be propaganda. Okay. For the life of me, I think this might be Rat Race I was going for, or Ice House. Probably Rat Race. Okay. And this one is Toggle Tank, I believe. Yeah, very much Toggle Tank. Okay, and this one is just another fairly random section. But that 4x4 room up there is supposed to reference it's present in a couple CCLP3 levels. I think how to get around on Venice, it's in it. It's where you have like this tank configuration where you clearly need a block to block off one of them to get through. It's like this. And this one is not official set, but I was going for referencing for the love of tanks in Josh-CCLP5 with this one. I don't know. It's a little tight for my liking, but it works. Okay, I think this is supposed to be fire trap I was going for. But now we just cycle through the tanks again. And we can exit. So this is a combination of descending ceiling and toss salad. I'm just going to push the block all the way up. Yeah, so this one's descending ceiling and this is toss salad right here. He even has the yellow key and everything. The hint, I believe, says something like Bam Majera approves of this level because he loves tanks. So in order to reach the hint, and I'm honestly debating on not going for it, you have to time this trap release very carefully. So yeah.
Bummer.
Oh. Oh, why did I do that? Man. I knew I shouldn't have gone for it. But you can kind of see like the premise of how you get the key and get out. So all you have to do is just avoid the tanks the second time, go up to read a hint, and then come back down and just go to exit. That's the gist of it. And now I gotta replay it because of my dumbass. Honestly, I'm not sure why I didn't submit this initially. I think it was just... I guess it was just me thinking it was maybe a little too medley-like. But I mean, honestly, it's... I might have just been silly with thinking that. Oh, we can get through this instantly. Nice. Okay. Yeah, honestly, if in some universe this got into CCLP5, this really wouldn't be a... This wouldn't be placed super late. Like, I wouldn't call it the tank level of CCLP5. I feel like that's going to go to Suddenly the Skies Ooze Blue Machines from Trading Places, if I had to guess. I mean, either that or Tank Game Reborn, but... Tank Game Reborn is not that hard of a level. Okay, let's do this dodging section first. You can kind of see there's like a little gap between some of these tanks, like a larger gap than a normal. Yeah, this isn't taking too long to replay. I'm only at, what, 35 minutes? I say only. But these levels are all late game Walls of CCLP3 levels, so I was expecting to take a little longer than normal. But I had to replay 2 of them for reasons I did on my, like, things I did on my own. Okay, let's not go for the hint. Alright, that is International Tank Anthology. It's a pretty good level, I have to say. I like it. Alright, level 256. All blocks have chips under them. So, this idea was such a golden opportunity, and I'm so glad I took it. So this uses Pac-Man. And this entire left half is basically copy-paste from Pac-Man. But the right half is all jumbled up. And that's because this level obviously references the 256 glitch in the Pac-Man arcade game. So when I realized I could do this idea with this template, I was like above and beyond for like realizing it. I think part of it was like, oh, you know, no one else is gonna come up with this. Like, no one else is gonna make a Walls of CCLP3, which I was wrong about. But even that person, I don't think would have done this with this level. And I will admit, I was a little hesitant on submitting it because it is basically ripping off Pac-Man. But I feel like this right half kind of gives it its own identity in its own way, which I think is really cool. Okay, so this is a little weird, but thankfully doable. So I'm expecting to miss a chip somewhere. Almost every time I've played this, I've missed a chip somewhere. No matter how thorough I can be. Okay, let's push that up. Okay, so that's all these down here. Okay. So there are going to be some blocks I will need for the end. So I'll try to keep these 3. So I think this entire bottom section is done. So we can go do this part now. This part's a little tougher because there's a little bit more specifics of how to get these out. Let's just shove that in the corner. Okay, yeah, I can't push that up because it's on a trap. Let's see here. I can do that. I can do that. Okay, so I can use one of these up here. At least I know that whatever chip I do miss, it will be up here. 7. That's 6. 3. Yeah, see what I mean? I was pretty thorough, and yet I still missed 3 chips. I know that's not any of them. Now, what 3 did I miss? Was it these 3? Ah, it was those 3. Okay. So now we just blow some bombs up and exit. So I think the biggest gripe this level got was this ending section used to have like a trap like right here, and you can just like plunge right into it. And I knew about that. Sadly, I did know about that. I guess I just thought players would be a little bit mindful about that. But I changed it up. I added some space and even added a thief. So there's like no way. There you go. There's like no way you can die by boosting. I mean, you probably still can, but I think at this point that's on the player if they do that. That is level 256. Yeah, I think it's a fun level. I honestly, if I wanted to do an original level with the template, I still would have used the chips for it, but the opportunity to reference the glitch was just too perfect. So, all right, the internal 3D dungeon. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. So as has been talked about, I think since the very beginning of this little Let's Play I did, or started, this was around the time where Walls of CCLP5 was being Let's Played, and this was around the time where this level got some fairly rough comments from JB about, which I'm over, and I need to make that very clear. I am over those statements. I've accepted it, and just it's been said and done. So we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I didn't think this level was coming up this soon. Okay, there's that Sokoban done. I'm still really happy with that Sokoban. I think it's cool. Definitely different than the normal Sokobans. But yeah, anyway, this uses the walls of bowling, and honestly, I kind of copped out with this one because I didn't really use the walls. I just kind of built my own level within the template, which is something I am telling myself not to do when it comes to walls of levels anymore, because I feel like that just defeats the point of a walls of set if you're just going to fill in all the space with clone machines or some arbitrary wall, acting wall. Like, what's the point of it being a walls of set? And it might as well just be its own level and its own set. So that's why levels I made in Trading Places, for example, and especially Walls of CC1 that's in progress, I have, for the most part, done my best to refrain from doing that sort of thing. Okay, so the goal with this room is you just have to press that. So all these blocks clone, and now you have to kind of find the block you need to get pushed into the water right there to get out. I think this room is very solid. Like, this is a really cool concept. Okay. That block is kind of pointless. So this is the block you need. And you just have to do a couple of loops. So regarding the whole internal 3D dungeon thing, like I said, I'm over it. I've been over it. If anything, I kind of regret getting so worked up as I did over it, because it honestly, it didn't matter. I mean, I took it the wrong way. Okay, so this is just a waste of space room, which is honestly fairly simple. And no, there's no way you can ram the block on the forest floor by boosting, as you can clearly see me doing here. I like this room. It's easy, but it honestly, to me, it's kind of hard to make these waste of space rooms difficult. I say that as I screw it over. That's not good because I need to use the restroom. Yeah. I think the thing that bothered me the most was quite simply just saying the level wasn't that memorable. And I mean, I think what I've learned since then was that kind of term is basically kind of subjective. And honestly, nearly every level set criticism or level criticism is subjective. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's always going to be that way. And I really shouldn't be thinking anything of it. So I made that mistake with getting so worked up over it, because none of it mattered in the long run. Okay, I'm actually gonna have to stop, so I'll be right back momentarily. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm a little embarrassed about that, but that just kind of that came up all out of nowhere, and yeah, need to take care of it. Anyway, so I'm going to put these two recordings together somehow. I don't like doing that, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, if I have to, I will, but I don't like doing it. But yeah. So what I was saying was, well, what was I saying? I honestly don't remember now. I think the point I was trying to get at was, it does no good to get worked up over criticism. I mean, it's understandable why some people do, but did I just put... No, I didn't put it in unlockable state. There we go. Yeah, that Sokoban is... I really like it. You know, it involves a CC element, which a lot of people tend to praise when Sokobans and level design can use chips challenge elements and not just be a straightforward plain Sokoban. Which that's stuff I'm really gonna have to make in Walls of CC1. I think I've had a few levels I've made that have just straight up plain Sokobans in them. But there's nothing wrong with them. It helps break up some monotonous gameplay otherwise. And this room I really like as well. I like how you have to set this up. This is such a cool idea. Yeah, so one thing I considered for this level in particular was to just either make the walls clone machines or the clone machines walls. But I decided to just keep it the way it was. What was that? A keyboard. What was that? I wasn't doing that. I swear to God, I was not doing that. So what I was doing was I was up here. I pushed up, but I pushed up and it didn't happen, and somehow it went left, and then the down press was me pressing down right here. So basically, when I pushed up right here, it didn't read it. It read my left. It read a left key press somehow, probably from doing this twice. And it just went down, so it completely ignored. Man, that's so... I don't know why Tile World does that on this computer now. It's so stupid. And this is literally a brand new keyboard because it came with the desktop PC I bought. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I doubt it. Oh no, I did it right. Sorry for all these mess ups. I'm normally better about that, but I guess it's just not my night, I guess. I don't know. I can't think of any other possible reason. I'm just trying to solve the level, but keyboard wants to be predicting these key presses that I'm not inputting, and like if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be complaining about it. I know there's people out there that are like, oh, you know, I didn't press that, but they clearly did and they're in denial. I mean, maybe I am in denial, but I sincerely don't think I did that input in any capacity. Okay, so how about we just left up. There we go. That is all I was doing earlier. I don't know what the heck it was thinking I was inputting. Jeez. So I guess I can provide some updates on the Walls of CC1 project. So again, it predicted 2 down presses and I only did 1. There's I think 76 total levels now. And oh, I hope I didn't. Oh, I think I did. Oh, I think I did. I think I did. I did. I did. Dude, what is going on? Oh my god. I don't know what to say at this point. Well, if anyone else thought this level wasn't memorable, I don't think it is, because I've been on this for, with the other recording, probably about 20 minutes. And I shouldn't be on this still. I should have completed this well long ago. There's no need to be on this level. Like it's not easy, but it's also not that it's not that hard of a level. So there's no reason to be on this for almost half an hour. I solved that a little faster. Let's do this whole nonsense again. So there are 76 levels in Walls of CC1 now, and I think at this point we're taking a little bit of a design break. Because, I mean, let's be honest, half the set done in like a month and a half, 2 months, is pretty damn impressive. Like, even I don't know how we made as many as we did. I mean, I know how I made as many as I did because I've been inspired as heck. I think this set project has been more inspiring than Trading Places was, and that's not to say Trading Places wasn't inspiring, but let's just say if I have a feeling that if I didn't get my half done when I did, I feel like the project would not have been successful. And I kind of say that with a little bit of a grain of salt because I don't know if that would have been the case or not. But considering how long Jeffrey's half took, which there's no fault to him at all. I was more than okay, and I understood why it was taking such a long time. And so there's nothing against that at all. But I feel like I waited a long time for Jeffrey to finish up his half. Well, let's just say during that time I also wasn't done with my half of the levels for that set. There would have been a pretty high chance that I probably wouldn't have finished my half. But, you know, who knows? The inspiration definitely wasn't as strong as it has been with Walls of CC1. Okay, so this sardine can is a sardine can. I include a little alcove right here so you can see how many blocks you need, since that was a thing that was complained about. And honestly, I don't think it needed to be. I felt like the Sokoban I felt like it was gauged enough because, I mean, you can see there's one bomb right here. Or one bomb right there. So that should mean you have 4 on the other side. I mean, why? I wouldn't have provided 5 blocks if you didn't need all 5. I mean, I don't know. I have provided extras in some levels, so maybe this was thought to have extras for some reason. And considering where it was placed in Walls of CCLP5, I felt like that should have been a little apparent that this wouldn't have had extras, but that's just me. That's just me. But the alcove is there now, so it makes it a little better observant. So be happy. That's all I can say. Okay, suction boots are obtained, which means we can collect this chip safely and not have to go to a blobby thingy. Okay, so here the goal is to block that ball so you can collect the fire boots and exit. You can finally get out of this frickin' level. So there's a fairly specific path you have to follow, but you don't need these suction boots. That's the main thing. You don't need those anymore. I should have made them needed, but I didn't want to. Because I mean, I clearly had the space to require the suction boots, but the task is just simply block the ball. And get to that exit. Alright, internal 3D dungeon is finally done. Wow, that should not have taken as long as it did. I am so sorry. But, needless to say, that level it's one of those levels, and this kind of ties back into that, you know, I shouldn't have gotten worked up about what the way I did. It's because that level, I don't have any strong feelings about it, and that's the weird thing. Like, I don't really care one way or another if it gets into CCLP5 or if it's rated highly, like, or something like that. I mean, I really don't care about it. So it's like, well, why did you get so worked up over it? The truthful answer is I've just been, I mean, not anymore, but I was going through a lot of rough stuff at that particular moment in time. When that video of JB's came out and that level was played and his comments were stated, that particular moment in time, I was going through an extremely rough spot, and it was just bad timing to hear that type of stuff. And it's not necessarily JB's fault. It's not necessarily my fault. That's just how it went. I didn't think I was going to hear things like that, watching something that would take my mind off of stressful things back then. And when I heard those, that just kind of added on to that stress, and it kind of made me feel like I wasn't worthy as a level designer. Like, one of the few enjoyments I get out of my life, I can't really do now because I'm not making memorable levels. It was something like that. And that's why I took it the way I took it. It wasn't about the level itself, because like I stated to JB in some comments, that could have been about any other level of mine. It could have been about someone else's level that I really like. I mean, it could have been about anything. It just happened to be about that particular level at that particular moment in time. And it was just bad timing to hear it. That's all it came down to. And since then, JB and I have been cool. I mean, obviously we're working on a set together, which is exciting. And yeah, everything's good now. And final things about Internal 3D Dungeon. If you liked it, I'm happy you did. I'm glad you liked it. If you didn't, or you didn't find it enjoyable or memorable in any way, you know, that's perfectly fine. I did the best I could to make it an enjoyable, somewhat memorable level with some cool ideas implemented to it. Outside that, though, that's all I did. I'm not proud of the level because I resorted to using clone machines all over the place, but I mean, I didn't know what else to do with bowling, so that's all I can say. But the video has gone on for probably over an hour now. I really don't know. This separate recording is almost at 20 minutes. So I'm going to end it here, and we'll take on Sandstorm Shelter and a few more Walls of CCLP3 levels, and hopefully finish up this portion of the set tonight. I mean, that's my goal. So we'll go from there. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even with all the dumb mistakes I've made and stupid screw-ups in the last level and the bathroom crap. Yeah, sorry about that. That's still kind of embarrassing. But regardless, thanks for watching or listening or tuning in some capacity, and we'll see you next time.